the storylines and backstories of all the characters of Warhammer 30K, the Horus Heresy. The Horus Heresy is a major event in the Warhammer 30K universe that led to the fall of the Emperor and the Imperium of Man. It is a civil war that erupted within the ranks of the Space Marines, led by Horus, the War Master, against the Emperor. The Horus Heresy began when Horus was corrupted by the Chaos Gods and turned against the Emperor. He convinced several other Primarchs and Space Marines to join his cause, creating a schism within the Imperium. The Loyalist Space Marines, led by the Loyalist Primarchs, were in turn forced to defend themselves against their own brothers, and engaged in a brutal war that spanned the galaxy. As the conflict raged on, many of the Loyalist Primarchs were killed, and the Imperium was devastated. In the end, Horus and his forces battled the Emperor aboard his flagship, the Vengeful Spirit. Although Horus was ultimately defeated, the Emperor was gravely wounded, and the Imperium was changed forever. The Horus Heresy has profound implications for the Warhammer 40K universe, as it established the current state of the Imperium and the conflict with the Chaos Gods. It also created a hopelessness and sense of despair within the Imperium, which was once a beacon of hope for humanity. Certainly, the Horus Heresy is a pivotal event in the lore of the Warhammer 30K universe. Here are some key points that might help in understanding the scope and impact of the heresy. The heresy began when Horus, War Master of the Emperor's armies, was corrupted by the Chaos Gods. In turn, he recruited several other Primarchs to his cause and turned them against their own father, the Emperor. The war between the Loyalist and traitor forces spread across the galaxy, with many of the Space Marines and Imperial armies divided along the lines of loyalty. The battles were fierce and brutal, with planet-level destruction and astronomical casualty counts. Many iconic characters were introduced or developed through the Horus Heresy storyline, such as the Primarchs, genetically engineered sons of the Emperor who served as his generals, the Legions, the Space Marine armies, and the Chaos Gods and their followers. The traitor forces were ultimately defeated in a final showdown aboard the Vengeful Spirit, but not before the Emperor was mortally wounded. In order to keep him alive, he was interred on the Golden Throne, where he remains to this day as a lifeless husk, his vast psychic power channeled to protect humanity from the enemies of the Imperium. The Horus Heresy had far-reaching consequences for the Warhammer 40K universe. The Imperium was shattered and forced to retreat to Terra, the homeworld of the Emperor. The traitor legions were disbanded and hunted down by the Loyalist Space Marines. The Primarchs were scattered or killed, and their names became legend or infamy. The events of the heresy also led to the rise of the Chaos Gods and their demonic legions, who continue to threaten the Imperium and all life in the universe. The Imperium, in turn, has become harsher, more authoritarian, and less capable of dealing with the myriad threats facing human civilization. Overall, the Horus Heresy is a complex and multifaceted story, touching on themes such as loyalty, betrayal, tragedy, and the nature of power. It has spawned a large body of literature, tabletop gaming, and other media, as well as a dedicated fan base who continue to explore and delve into the lore and characters of the Warhammer 30K universe. Certainly, the Primarchs were the genetically engineered sons of the Emperor and served as his generals during the Great Crusade in the Warhammer 30K universe. They were created to be superhuman warriors, each with unique abilities and traits that made them formidable in battle and strategic planning. During the Horus Heresy, the roles and fates of the Primarchs were crucial to the conflict. Here are some key details about some of the most prominent Primarchs and their contributions to the story. 1. Horus. Horus was the war master of the Emperor's armies and the central figure of the heresy. He was corrupted by the Chaos Gods, who used him as a pawn to turn the Primarchs against each other and destroy the Imperium. Horus was the instigator of the heresy, and his fall from grace had a profound impact on the rest of humanity. 2. Rabut Guilliman. Guilliman was the Primarch of the Ultramarines Legion and one of the most loyal and prominent figures in the Imperium. He led his legion in several key battles during the heresy, most notably the defense of Terra against the traitor forces. Guilliman's tactical expertise was instrumental in turning the tide of the war. 3. Sanguinius. Sanguinius was the Primarch of the Blood Angels Legion, and a beloved figure among the Loyalist forces. He was known for his striking appearance and angelic wings, as well as his formidable combat skills. Sanguinius died in the